Hello and welcome back to Journeys in Fandom, and we're not talking about Doctor Who. Woohoo!
Because there's nothing to talk about. Well, there's a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, there is stuff to talk about, but we don't care.
It's done.
Yeah, it's done. Finally, we're done with this nonsense. Into the next series, whenever that might be, and the more nonsense that's going to happen.
Yes, but I still don't think there's going to be a next series because we've not heard anything.
No.
It's been a month, near enough to the day since we released the last episode of this, and nothing. It's like silence.
Yep. It's like we're in a library or something, isn't it?
Except that RTD was asked a question: does he think that Billy Piper is the next Doctor? And he said, "I don't know. Who knows?" And that kind of says it all, doesn't it? It's just like,
I hate it. I hate him. I hate everything. I just hate it.
It's playing fast and loose with canon, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, just cancel it, please. Just make it stop. Just for my own mental health at this point.
Yeah. Well, we've got the war between, always get it wrong, the land and the sea. Still to come at some point this year. Apparently they're at Comic-Con this year with a panel on that, if Comic-Con hasn't already happened. So maybe we'll get an announcement at the end of this month.
Yeah, isn't San Diego at the moment, or am I imagining it?
It's around this time of year, isn't it? It's July, August time. So let's have a quick look. So I imagine we'll get something out of that, Doctor Who related, but also Marvel related, you'd think, or I don't know, something, or DC, which we're going to talk about today.
Talking of Marvel, is phase 5 now finished? The phase it never was.
Yeah,
because that finished with Iron Heart. Or whatever that was.
Good God, yeah. 24th of July to the 27th, so 10 days time. Fair enough.
Cool. So, as there's no news, our main story of the evening is Superman's back in cinemas.
Woo! Yes, I didn't put my T-shirt on. I thought about it and then forgot. It's like, could have gone full branded Superman, but totally forgot.
Yeah. Whereas I remembered precisely 2 minutes ago before we recorded, I went, yes, Superman T-shirt, happy days.
So, yes, we've both been to see it independently over the last couple of days, and we thought we'd review it hot off the press.
Yes, I went solo. I sat in a chair by myself with no one next to me and just watched it intently for 2 hours and however long it was.
And I went with child, so I have the views of a 9-year-old to throw into the mixed. And they're quite interesting reviews, actually, of it.
So I confess, before I went to see it, I had seen reviews starting to come in.
Yes.
And some of the reviews were very positive, and some were very negative.
Yeah, it's like it's become the most polarizing thing on social media at the moment, whether you liked Superman or whether you didn't. And there's a lot of people arguing over it.
But even the professional reviewers couldn't decide if it was good or bad.
Yeah. They did. Lots of people kind of sort of saying, well, yeah, it's like a paradox. It's got some really good stuff in it and some really bad stuff, so they can't work out what they thought of it.
So, obviously, dear listeners, viewers, or however you're taking this in, spoiler warning. We're going to talk about Superman, and we're going to spoil everything. Yeah. But just in case you hadn't realised, there will be spoilers.
Yes, spoilers alert.
Yeah. So, the opening scene, Superman crashes to Earth, having been handed his ass by the Hammer of Barovia. Which I actually quite liked the whole 300 years ago this appeared, 30 years ago this happened, 3 years ago this happened, 3 minutes ago he got handed his ass.
Yeah, I think that
the first time. I think that's
there was no origin
story.
No, there was no origin story, which is a good thing.
Yeah, because let's face it, if you don't know Superman's origin story, you know it by newborns know it by cultural osmosis by now.
Yeah, it's that and the Batman origin story. Everybody's seen it so many times. So I was quite pleased that they didn't bother. And they actually explained very simply the rules of the universe in that one little I can't say the word, in that text on the screen. This is what's happened. This is what's happened. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And then it just jumped straight into it, didn't it, really?
Yeah. And I know that scene especially is a hell of a lot of criticism because they're saying all we see is Superman getting beaten up. And you're going, well, according to that little text block, this is the first time he's lost, full stop.
Yeah, I suppose it obviously gets explained as to who's beat him up. Let's not beat around the bush. Obviously, the Hammer Bravia is Ultraman, who is this clone of Superman. So by the end of the film, you realise why he's getting beaten up. I suppose for me, and we'll touch on it, Superman did get beaten a lot in one way or another all the way through the film. He was not really, I don't know, it just felt like he couldn't do it on his own a little bit, but that might have just been me, but he seemed to be not winning very often, then seemed to lose quite a lot. But that bit at the start, I thought needed more weight to it from the characters. Oh my God, Superman's getting beaten. But the public and the characters didn't seem that fussed. Whereas in other Superman stories, Superman getting beaten was a big thing. But then I suppose in this new universe, and this is what I had to keep coming back to in my head, this is not your usual Superman, let's be frank. It's a different type of Superman. So him getting beaten is fine in the context of this universe that we're talking about now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think they touched on it, said we don't want some invincible godlike being who just turns up and goes, I win now.
Which he definitely wasn't.
Yeah, you're trying to have that relatableness. Admittedly, does it take something away from Superman? Because the whole point of Superman, if I may, actually for a moment, is the point is he is unbeatable. Unless you have like a Superman level threat, it's a case of I turn up, this is done. But it's not that makes him the character. It's a whole the world is paper kind of thing.
His restraint.
If I flex too hard,
is his character. And I think because that was always the thing with Batman. Batman could still beat Superman because he had like the backup plans upon backup plans, and that was always a big thing that he could defeat Superman if he chose to. So this Superman is definitely not and for other reasons, not just the fact he's got beaten up, the like top level kind of leader. He's very much in the mix, I felt, as well. So Man of Steel, he wasn't, because it was like the origin story, wasn't it? It was always an origin story. But in lots of the stories, Superman is kind of the figurehead, the one who has the final say. But in this, it's probably because he's not found his place yet, because he's quite a new character. And they described that, didn't they? That he's only been around for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, and he doesn't fit in yet, so maybe that's going to come. But he didn't strike me as a like leadership potential. He was still kind of muddling along a little bit.
Yeah, and you sort of see it in the Justice Gang where Guy Gardner sort of going, well, if he is the threat we think he is, that's the problem. And like all of them going, this is the most powerful guy on the planet. Regardless of his power level, he is still the most powerful being on this planet.
Yeah, so it's still recognised as he is a threat. So, I think it's definitely a new take on the position that Superman has in that universe is different, and very much he needs other people to save him rather than just not doing things on his own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but again, he's finding his feet. Give him 10 years and he'll be
it was
Superman
as if
again.
It was like Superboy, Superman kind of thing, very much in his early career, or not Smallville, but that's a bit too young, but that kind of thing where he's kind of discovering stuff. But then at other parts, he was kind of quite developed, so it was kind of like a bit disjointed there.
So, how do we want to break this down? What do we want to? How do
Well,
we
we
want
talked
to do
about
this?
Superman in general. We can always come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
How about the story itself? And yeah, just maybe jump around a bit.
Yeah, it'd be like the movie, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Yeah, I think the film was, I think, a beautiful mess.
Yes, you described it as that, and I'd agree with you. Someone said it's the best James Gunn film that James Gunn has ever made. No, question. The most James Gunn film that James Gunn has ever made. And when you look at it like that, it's like, yeah, it's just his style of filmmaking, I don't think lends itself very well to one character driven story. And you could see that because they were throw so many characters in there that it became an ensemble piece when it didn't need to be an ensemble piece. So I think that's the biggest criticism.
But I think even as an ensemble piece, it still worked because each character did something. Even if they're only on screen for like half a second, they kind of still achieved something in their time.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I went into it knowing there was going to be a lot of characters I didn't know, because I said to my son, I'm always a Marvel person, and so I didn't really know who Mr. Terrific was. I knew who what's his face, Green Lantern,
Guy
Gardner is. Knew who Hawk Girl is, but I realized after it's the other version of Hawk Girl, the alien Hawk Girl, not the traditional Hawk Girl, which annoyed me because I like the traditional one. Didn't know who Metamorpho was. He wasn't even actually given a name in that. It was just a dude who could change his body. So
no, I think they name dropped him once.
Oh, maybe wrong. I didn't catch that. Yeah. So there were lots of characters that I didn't know who they were, and Ultraman didn't know who that was, and the concept of that. I had to kind of read up on them afterwards. So, but we know that James Gunn likes obscure characters. We know that, and he likes, like with the cartoon he's done recently. What is it? The Skeleton
Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos. Do I want to say Skeleton?
Yeah.
They're all weird and wonderful DC characters.
Yes.
And arguably DC has more weird and wonderful characters, I think, than Marvel anyway, just by the nature of what it is. So, yeah, I kind of went into it knowing there was going to be a lot. Yeah, I think it was probably too many things to try and introduce in that small space of time.
There was, like, some of the characters, even I looked and went, I'm not sure what this is.
Yeah.
The little, like, boatman thing in the parallel, in the pocket dimension. Yeah. And I went, I'm sure that's a real thing. Come back to that later.
Yeah. And then there was all the, like, there was General Fag Senior, who was Crossbones in Marvel, which was quite cool, Frank Grillo. And then there was some other, you had Peacemaker got a cameo, didn't he? And then there was a few others. Apparently there was a couple of others of those politicians that were also in Suicide Squad.
Yes.
The second one. Yeah. So there's all sorts of callbacks and to lots of different characters. So yeah, obviously it's universe building to a certain extent, but they seem to be quite like, bit of a brain dump having to deal with all those characters very quickly.
But that's the thing, they were fine being there because they didn't overshadow what they were trying to do. And if you remove them, it would still be fine. It was, the core concept was Superman versus clone Superman, and everything else you could have stripped away, and that core is still there. But actually, with all the extras, you just go, this is a bit of fun around it.
Yeah.
And of course, show me the dog. I love the dog.
Oh God. The Crypto. Well, it happened. It was reasonably funny. I thought the dog was going to die. I genuinely thought they were going to kill the dog for dramatic effect.
You can't kill Crypto.
No, but Crypto's back in Supergirl film because she takes him back because we found out that it's not actually his dog. That was good. I like the way that they explained. They actually told us where Crypto came from and why he was such a pain in the ass. It was actually Supergirl's dog and not his. So that was quite funny. I like that gag at the end. It's
also, like, Supergirl.
Do you know who Supergirl is? The actress.
Yeah.
It's the woman from well, she's a woman now. She was a girl. House of Dragon. Which I was like, you see a face. I was like, I know that face. Where have I seen this? Oh, she's older. Bloody hell. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, she's a good actress. So that should be interesting one because that's the next one, isn't it? Yeah. I think the next one to come out next year.
Well, the next 9 DC films I have a list of.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Oh.
So They are going to be Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's definitely next year because Lobo. Yep. That's Jason Momoa has been recast as Lobo. Yep. Yeah.
Clayface, which is a body horror movie, apparently.
Interesting.
You've then got Wonder Woman.
Oh, interesting as well.
With a new Wonder Woman. Then you've got The Authority, which is a superhero team. Brave and the Bold, Batman and Robin. So it's Damian Wayne Robin, apparently.
Well, that was just this thing about what they're doing with Batman, isn't it? Still, which is stupid.
And this will be a new Batman, so a DCU Batman, not a Robert Pattinson Batman.
And they've submitted the script for the Robertson Pattinson Batman, so they're still going ahead with the second one, even though they're doing another one. Why don't either they merge it or just can the Robert Pattinson one and just be done with it?
I think it might already be canned, but no one wants to really admit that yet.
Yeah, well, I suppose the thing is, well, it did do really well, so it's kind of what do you do with it?
You've then got Teen Titans.
I didn't realize they were doing that.
Yeah, you've then got Swamp Thing.
No, I did know that one, but I didn't. Yeah.
Sergeant Rock.
Oh Lord.
And then Justice League.
And there's also, isn't there a Green Lanterns TV show?
This is just the films. You've got TV shows on top. So like Peacemaker will get another series and all this stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely, because they kept him around, haven't they? Obviously, because he's in the film. Oh yeah, it's interesting. There's so many, things happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Superman. We digressed.
One thing I did like, and I saw a Facebook post that solidified this in my head. It showed Man of Steel Superman next to Superman 2025, and just the colouring. So Man of Steel, dark, broody Superman, and then this one, bright, colourful comic book Superman. And even definitely. The pants are back, and I went, yes. It was just a bright, colourful film, which we haven't had for a while.
Yeah, this was definitely a kids' superhero film. And when I say kids, the inner child as well as real children, because you just had big monsters, wasn't explained, no explanation of why we got a pocket universe. It was all just, this is happening. We don't explain it. It's not based, whereas Man of Steel and The Dark Knight was based in reality as best it could be for a Superman film. This was not based in reality in any shape or form.
Yeah, this is a superhero world, and even things like the Pocket Universe, it does like throwaway lines that say, "Oh, if you do this, this, and this, that's how it's happened."
Yeah,
so it was just kind of like one-liners. Yeah, because I just tore a hole in reality by mistake, kind of thing, and now I've made a prison there. Why not? And if I do this, I'll destroy the world. Yay!
Yes, yeah. So I think that's what some of the viewers couldn't get their heads around, was the fact that nothing was explained. It was just this is happening, and I think that's what happens in comics. You don't get an explanation as why X is happening and Y is happening. Marvel still try to ground their films in reality as best they can, but they move away from it every so often. But even the Thanos stuff was kind of had a weird basis in reality to a certain extent. Whereas this is just like, no, we're doing this. There's this random kaiju that just where did he get it from? What is it? No one knows, but we're fighting it.
It starts off in a little box. It's a gremlin. Yay, let's do this. It just runs off, and then suddenly I was like, oh, it's big. Oh no, you made Godzilla.
So I got annoyed about it to start with, and then I just thought, nah, I just got to run with it, because that's not what this film's about. It's not a serious Man of Steel. It is just bonkers in your face.
I think the point of DC is it's gods and monsters. There are beings that are so powerful that your head just goes, nope, that can't be.
Yeah.
Because if you had an entity that powerful, everything stops. So the idea. So when they first announced Man of Steel, when they first announced Superman 2025, with like parts of it had callbacks to other Superman like animated films I'd seen, like the whole turning up, stopping a war. That it's been done so many times because that's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
The start of the Justice League animated series, he was stopping a war. Superman versus the Elite. He just rocks up and there's a war happening. He goes, nope, not on my watch. And you go, yeah. So he's imposing his sort of moralistic ideas on like the world. And you go, yeah, if you push that too far, you get injustice and a whole problem. But actually, as a inherently good character, you go, yeah, I can see where they're going with it. And you see sort of snippets from other comics and stories, and you go, actually, this is quite a nice concept.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I wish they'd explore more. And I appreciate you're never going to do it in 2 and a bit hours. Is the whole politics around it. Whereas he got in trouble for intervening in something he shouldn't have intervened in. It's a concept, well, people see you as an American. I thought, oh, you could really run with some really good politics around who owns the superheroes, which kind of like The Boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was snippets in it that you go, oh, yeah, I wish they'd done more on that, or they'd done more on this. They obviously focused on the bonkers pseudo sci-fi, all that kind of stuff, but it'd be nice to maybe had a more...
Yeah.
It was like I was wishing for a more grounded story with more intrigue and stuff in it, but it wouldn't have worked, if you know what I mean. It wouldn't have worked in that concept.
But also,
it was
the amount of people that then bashed it because of the whole, well, he's an American, what's he doing this kind of thing? You're going, you're missing that. If you think that, like the whole changing the tagline, like truth just in the American way versus truth just in a better tomorrow. And actually, I can see why they would change the tagline, especially over America.
I think, I don't think it was done. I think, actually, in some ways, this was the reverse. I think the press were looking for them to say they did things a certain way to inflate the leftist view on Superman. But actually, it wasn't there. So the reason they did the human way was because it was in the whole story. It was the speech at the end when he defeated Lex that he said he was more human. And I could accept that. And this thing about him being an immigrant, it wasn't actually anyone who said that. The press kind of inflated it and made it more than it was. And it's nothing. The story had nothing to do with that. It was just people making comments in the media that then it just like snowballed.
Yeah. And I think that's the whole thing. This is a kid that's landed from another planet who grows up in backwater Kansas and is as American as apple pie.
Yeah.
But is inherently good. And that's the whole thing where you're going, well, actually, he's doing it because he wants to do the right thing. It's like they capture it quite well in this, where they defeat the kaiju and he's going, well, let's not hurt it.
Yeah.
Like put it in an intergalactic zoo or study or put it on an island somewhere, just get it out of the way. And like every time someone's in danger, he just puts himself there as a shield and goes, nope, not today. Yeah. Even like the squirrel, which was pushing it to the limit kind of thing. But you go, no, every single life, he would just go, no, I'm going to save that person and I'm going to stand in the way. Because actually, whatever you throw at me bounces off me, below them, it'll kill them. So I'll just stand there and go, yep, I'll take it.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it's doing the right thing. And I think that was the concept of the message, and we'll get to the message in a minute. And I like the sit down talk he had with his with his dad, who said it's not where you come from, it's the actions and the choices you make. And I thought, that was a nice little respite scene that sort of showed that it doesn't matter where you've come from, it's how you've been brought up and it's the decisions you made. I thought, it's nice, and that kind of that was a good message to deliver. The whole thing about, and a lot of people jumped on you go to Earth and rape people and make people your wives and all that kind of thing. A lot of people were angry about that. It's changing canon, but it is what it is, and actually it served the purpose of the story. And I'm not a massive Superman fan, so it doesn't really hurt me. They changed canon slightly, but in the whole scheme of things, it doesn't really bother me.
It becomes a story of nature versus nurture, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that's a classic thing. It's like everyone assumes, and also the distrust of aliens, as in superpowered aliens, not as in foreigners coming over the border aliens. And immediately the public turned on him because they didn't trust him because he was super powerful. They didn't know where he was coming from. So that was fine. Ignoring the monkeys and the parallel universe typing of typewriters, I thought that was a bit too far. They could have just had a more realistic thing of Lex Luthor paying loads of people somewhere in a computer lab to do it. But the social media thing was, again, a little thing that could have been expanded and had a really interesting thing that it was actually Lex doing it all properly, not with monkeys. But yeah, the distrust was nice to see.
What did you think to the Superman versus Clark Kent? So actually making them two different characters, like the interview scene. The whole
that was
starts off quite timid and chilled, and suddenly he stood fully upright and
him. Well, I wanted more Clark Kent, and we only ever got one scene with Clark Kent as Clark Kent, which really bugged me because I always like the difference between the two. The interview scene was good. To begin with, I was like, oh, where's this going? And actually, Lois came across really well in that because they could have made Lois really insufferable and really two-dimensional, but she came across as really. It cemented her character in that thing because even if she loves whatever Clark, Superman, she nailed him to the wall as she went through the conversation. She built up into it and he built up into it, and you could see them both playing off each other. It was a weird scene because it slowed everything right down, and that whole film went at such a breakneck pace, so that kind of felt a bit weird. But it was a good scene. I don't fault it. It just felt an odd scene to do in the context of everything else that was going on, but I liked it. I liked that dynamic between the two was good.
There's an early build-up scene and just setting the stall out, because sometimes if a film is 90 miles an hour, you need that kind of 5-minute
fair point
breather to if everything's 90 miles an hour, you need something to speed check yourself and just go, just take a breath and let you.
No, it was good.
Sort of see what's going on.
I wish there was more Lois and Clark stuff, but again, it's not going to fit it in 2 hours. And I think I know the reason why is my sort of peak Superman is Dean Cain, Terry Hatcher thing, which was all about Lois and Clark. And I forgot, and I thought, actually, that's the one that I recall the most. Obviously, remember the originals, but that was the one, and that was all about that dynamic. And I kind of missed. I love the bumbling kind of Clark Kent persona, and he looked like he did it really well. And there was kind of the little interactions with all the people. Perry White is a great character. I always like Perry White. And yes, they were kind of instrumental in bringing Lex down, but I wanted more news stuff, more reporting, and more kind of getting into it. And there was stuff there, don't get me wrong, but I wanted more Clark rather than just Superman or Clark behind the scenes with Lois.
Yeah, but is that series versus film as well?
It's not. Again, you're not going to get that.
Yeah,
you're not going to get that.
Lois and Clark: New Adventures of Superman was multiple series, and they had time to build that up.
Yeah, and it was purposely dealing with them as Lois and Clark as opposed to Superman. Yeah, it was always. Well,
even the CW series again, Lois and Clark.
I haven't actually seen that.
Gives you, it's worth a watch.
I've heard that it's good because obviously it's coming out of CW. No, you're never going to get it, and you didn't really get it in the Man of Steel stuff. Although I always thought Amy Adams was a good Lois Lane, but then equally can't remember the actress' name. I thought she was really good as Lois Lane, spot on, kind of just the right pitch for that right level of sort of not too overtly saving people, but kind of sticking a nose in kind of stuff, which kind of worked.
Yeah. What I did find interesting, again bouncing around topics, is the amount of people that said the Sun was the most supporting character, because every 5 minutes he needs like a solar recharge, and I came out and thought about it afterwards and went, I see your point, but also the guy is solar powered, so his powers are literally
not many people, I don't think, and it's a genuine thing, I don't think many mainstream people realise that. As a comic and a Superman, you know it, but I don't think many people realise he is powered by the sun, and the reason he's more powerful and why he has the powers he has, and all the nuances about the difference in gravity and all that kind of stuff. I don't think people realise that. They just think, oh, he's an alien, therefore he's got superpowers. No, it's all to do with Earth.
He literally, he metabolizes sunlight.
Yeah,
and for him, it is nutrition, and the light color literally gives him his powers. So when they're sort of saying, "Oh, it's all too much," it needs like a recharge every 5 minutes, you're going, well, actually, if you read the comics, like they even rate his abilities on how quickly they drain his solar energy, kind of thing. Like apparently so that like his heat vision drains his energy quickest. So if he's cut off from sunlight, his energy levels will drop slowly as he just exists. But then if you use like your heat vision, it'll drop quicker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like when he's in the prison cell and he's going, why do you still look messed up for? Well, he's just been exposed to kryptonite for like God knows how many hours. And normally I'd get better because I'm just absorbing sunshine, but there's no sunshine here, so I can't recharge. And then when Metamorpho just goes, I can just make a sun for you. You go, that might be a problem.
Yeah, that was a little bit far-fetched. It was, my son went into it saying that Superman never uses his breath power, and he used it basically to save himself from a black hole. So we both went to the cinema when that happened. Because like,
he also used it to blow the dog away.
Yeah, but in Man of Steel, he never uses it. And other stuff, he never uses it. And it's the first one where he's actually actively used it. On more than one occasion to do different things.
Yeah, because that's the thing. We forget that Superman has so many powers. You just go, which one are we using again?
It was nice seeing them in tandem. So when he's doing the fight with the kaiju, he did the X-ray to see what was in his stomach when they put the thing. He's like, okay, right, and he's doing that. So you actually got to see not just the flying and the strength, but all the stuff working together, which I thought was quite cool as well. Which again, you've not seen before.
Yeah. What else was good? What did you think? What do you think of the Justice Gang?
Again, interesting concept. Obviously sponsored by Maxwell Law, they'd be found out, and things like that. Weird choice of characters. Now it's like, just because obviously you had the Green Lantern who did touch on why he was there and the oath that he's given, but he's like, his origin's like over here in space, and the other two, it was an odd group of three to put together. I thought Mr. Terrific, a lot of people criticism of it say it's a Mr. Terrific ensemble film and Superman's in the ensemble, because Mr. Terrific did have a lot of screen time. I quite liked him. I thought it was quite different, but he did have a lot of screen time compared to the other two in the gang.
I found the scene with him at the research place where everyone attacks and he just goes, nope.
Yeah.
And like you got Lois in the protective dome thing, and he just mullers everybody, and you go, you're literally a guy with tech, and everyone just got obliterated. I went, yes, you are. I'm fully here for this. The whole the T-spheres just did their thing.
Yeah, they were all right. Again, like you said, they served a purpose. It was nice seeing that bit when he's having the heart-to-heart with Lois, and they're fighting the big alien thing in the background, and all you could see is the different things happening. I thought, that's quite cool. It's just like a little thing they're just dealing with it.
It's when she goes, do you need to go and deal with that? She goes, no, it's only interdimensional imp. They've got this. And I found that quite funny, but also slightly. I was in two minds because he knows how they behave and their willingness to kill stuff, and their not willing to protect everyone around them. You go, well, actually, the squirrel incident from earlier says you would be out there and just go, no, save that, remove you, job done. But by the same token, we got this.
I think that's where the ensemble James Gunn thing comes in, where he's doing Guardians, he's doing Suicide Squad, trying to have all these weird people playing off against each other, and that's where I think it didn't. That's the criticism. It was playing to that ensemble thing when it didn't need to be. So all this kind of quirky kind of jokes and the kind of like arguing and bickering, which is kind of what you see from Suicide Squad or Guardians. He's like, this is what James Gunn does. So he's doing it again, and he's just putting Superman in that group to kind of bicker with them and have like the little jokes and stuff.
Yeah. I thought the engineer, while great, was just not needed.
They could have got around it in other things.
Yeah, they were a secondary villain for the sake of having a secondary villain.
They were. It was like it was a tool to get the recording, and that was all they really were used for. Kind of when she was kind of interrogating the computer, it reminded me of Brainiac. Obviously, it's not Brainiac, but it kind of was like, oh, that's quite cool. But yeah, she was there, and obviously, Ultraman / Superman clone was kind of. I like the reveal straight away when it landed walked, then the helmet came off, and you got to see who it was. I thought, yeah, that's quite cool. You just got that, so you knew who it was straight away. Well, you knew what it was, but you didn't know who it was until it got to the end bit.
I confess, the fact that Ultraman was fed information like a computer game,
that was brilliant. I really like that.
I have a problem.
First time we've disagreed on this review. For it.
I know. I thought it was really good. As a concept, really, really good. However, you're fighting Superman who moves faster than you can think. So you saying you doing Xbox bloody Street Fighter combo moves, sorry, you've already lost by that point. Before you press the first button or given the first instruction, he has beaten you into next week.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to turn your brain off. I liked it. I liked it as a concept. We'll come to Lex in a minute, but the fact that Lex was doing it, obviously he'd studied him for so long, and that was, I thought, but I could see that being like a group of villains who've been studying superheroes for years and are just playing like you say, Street Fighter at home, and it's working. The concept of feeding it was nicely done. But yeah, you're right. I suppose you look at it. If he's moving at the speed of sound, you're not going to see it.
The only advantage is you're doing it with someone who is equally as powerful as Superman.
Yeah,
because anyone else, one punch, it's all done.
Yeah,
and it's a Superman problem, isn't it? I punch you, the fight's over, because it's a world of paper again. So actually having someone that Superman can punch.
It was a very clever concept, and it's like the shouting out the moves and doing the different things. Oh yeah, I like that. And all the nerds getting excited when they were beating him. I thought that was good as well.
Yeah. I thought as a concept it was really good, but then the little voice back in my head's going, but no, be quiet, voice. What else was there?
Lex Luthor. Let's talk about Lex.
Yes, let's talk about Lex.
Very good. Again,
yes.
There's lots of people moaning that the actor got more money than the other two. That's because he's been in Hollywood for longer and he's done lots of big films. But yeah, no, he was great. I thought you understood what was driving Luthor, the fact that he just wanted to be better than Superman and he was jealous of him. Really, he wasn't afraid to do whatever it needed to get done. You had, even though again, I'd love a bit more political scheming. You got the scheme and you got the double play with the war and all that kind of stuff. And he was always, until right at the end, he was always one step ahead. He was always like thinking one step ahead. And that's what Lex Luthor is all about. He was intelligent enough to bring Superman down by playing everyone off against each other. Even though I'd seen it in one of the trailers, the bit where Superman storms into his office and he speaks into the cup to wind him up. Little things like that were really cool. It's like, oh yeah, I've got dog. And it's just like, it was brilliant. Little bits like, no, he was good. He was really good. And I found myself at the end thinking, how are they going to get him out of prison? Because that was the bit.
You got that intensity and the whole, like even the way he refers to Superman like as an it.
Yes.
Like,
really proper.
It is an it. Yeah, it's proper like visceral hatred. And you go, yeah, that's what you need. And this is a guy who is incredibly intelligent and has focused that intelligence onto one goal of ruining someone.
Yeah.
And you just see how quickly it begins to happen. And you go, yeah, Lex has won this until Doggo of Destiny.
Crypto saved the day. I thought of you. I actually put my head in my hands and my son was laughing at me. Go, who's going to save him? I was like, I know he's going to save him.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
But I suppose it's underestimated. I took it as a very cinematic message of the supervillain underestimating the little thing. Thought he had the big picture, but underestimated something simple as a dog. And that's what actually ultimately brought him down.
Yeah. A badly behaved dog with superpowers. And you go, oh no. Yeah, I've made a mistake.
Yeah, no, he was great.
I've made objects that looked like a tennis ball and put him in front of a superpowered dog. God help me.
No, he was great as Lex Luthor, and I'm sure he'll be back in whatever. But he was really, really good. So that was nice to see, because Lex is always an interesting character. I actually found what's his face in Batman vs Superman thing. He wasn't too bad as Lex Luthor. He was still that kind of weird genius thing, but I think Nicholas Hoult was better.
Yes. I suppose we have to get to the elephant in the room. Man of Steel versus Superman 2025, and Henry Cavill versus David
Cornsweet. Well, I watched Man of Steel with my son last weekend before, so we'd have two side by side. So I asked him which one did he like better, and he said the new one. And I said, well, why? Mm-hmm. And he said, well, basically two things. He said there was too much talking in the first one. Well, three things: the origin story, which he's only 9, he already knows the origin story, and he said it was really only focused on one thing in one enemy, and you only got the enemy right at the end, which is actually true. Whereas this one, you had stuff happening all the way through, and it was all a lot of fun. So, and actually, I kind of agree with him. Man of Steel, I think, was of its time.
Yeah.
And it came after Dark Knight, wasn't it?
Yes,
because there was all talk about bringing Christian Bale's Batman in, and there was lots of rumours it was going to happen. It never did.
2012, I think, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So it was kind of the dark, gritty era of superhero films after the Dark Knight. So stylistically, I think it was more, like you said, dull tones and more stylish, and had a very serious thing to it, and probably arguably had a better coherent storyline, if we're honest.
Well, the Man of Steel storyline was Superman 1 and 2.
Yeah, basically just merged into one.
Because it wasn't anything new. It was just the first two Superman films redone for a modern era.
Yeah, and it still stands up now. Some of the effects are a bit like, oh yeah, that's a bit dodgy, but they are two completely different films. It's difficult to compare them. I think I had more fun watching this new one than the other one. The other one did drag a bit because it was a lot of expedition as you kind of go through it all and build up. It did look nice, and it still does. Like I say, it's still stylish, but it was long.
And I think also, like in Man of Steel, you've got Superman being unsuperman, like when it's in a truck stop and destroys the truck. That's not very Superman.
No, the concept where he could have actually still saved his father and no one would have noticed. And that still bugs me. That, like you say, he could move at the speed of sound, so no one would actually see him do it.
He could have literally flown in, grabbed Dad, flown Dad to the other side of the world, come back, stopped tornado before anyone even blinked.
Yeah, and also they're in a tornado, so it's going to be chaos anyway, so no one would notice what would happen. Yeah. I think arguably this one was better, which I'm quite surprised I'm saying that, but I think I was right.
Yeah. And I think also in this one, Clark Kent and Superman are different characters.
Definitely.
Whereas Man of Steel, it was Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
As both. There was no visible change. There was no...
Just glasses.
That was the way they comport themselves, just the whole thing was just, yep, these are the same guy.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, hypno glasses. That was a bit of a lame throwaway line. Again, I don't need that. You just don't need it. Anyway, as for Henry Cavill versus Mr. Cornsweet, I think it goes back to my original point. These are two different Supermen.
Yes.
I think Henry Cavill was better at traditional Superman, the leader, the figurehead, but Cornsweet's Superman isn't the figurehead yet.
No.
So you can't compare them because they are playing very different Supermen, and both of them are playing very different Supermen to Christopher Reeve's Superman and to Dean Cain's Superman and to the other guy, I can't remember his name from the TV series. But if you're just comparing the very modern ones, they are two very different Supermen.
Yeah.
So Henry Cavill's more jacked.
The thing. But I think this is going to be the question of the age, isn't it? Which one was better? And you've got obviously like the Snyderverse fans who will go to their graves saying it was the best thing in the world ever, and then you got other people going, "But was it? Are you sure?"
Because the potential was there, but
and I think the problem, the problem is Henry Cavill's Superman isn't Superman.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put my stand out and go. This is my soapbox moment. The point of Superman is he brings hope. He is this colourful, larger than life, goofy, dorky. The flag raising scene where all the people on the border are literally shouting for Superman.
Yeah.
It's that kind of cringy goodness, and everyone's going, yes, he's going to turn up and like ruin a day. And then when he goes, actually, I've sent some friends, and that's like the whole thing of you've got a war zone, and the thing that brings all the downtrodden together is the idea of this guy will turn up and save us. Because let's face it, he is he is like the embodiment of hope. I saw a note or a little Facebook reel thing where it was the Superman tax question. So years ago, apparently, there's a story that says the IRS did the sums of how much tax Superman would owe, and he owed $1 billion in taxes because obviously everything is given and donates is taxable income, yada yada yada. And then so this like IRS agents going, oh yeah, Superman owes us $1 billion, and Superman, following every rule of law, goes, okay, not sure how I pay that, but we'll go with it. Tries to find a way of paying it, can't do it, and then the IRS supervisor apparently turns up and goes, oh yeah, but you can deduct dependents, and technically everyone on Earth is a dependent of Superman because he saves everyone so regularly. So he goes, well, actually, we owe him money. And it's just the whole concept of just you've got this one individual who can stop a war by turning up and just is like the embodiment of goodness. The whole like saves a dog, saves a squirrel, takes a hit because he can. Whereas Cavill's Superman, you don't get that.
No. Also, I don't think Cavill's Superman got an opportunity to do it because
no,
Man of Steel rolled into Batman vs Superman, which rolled into Justice League, and once we hit Batman vs Superman, it was the slippery slope to this whole 4 or 5 movie plan, which was embedded so much in DC lore that you never would have seen him as saving people every day Superman, because really he went from disclosing who he is in Man of Steel to dying in the next film. So he didn't get a chance to save people, cats from tops of trees and all that kind of stuff. He didn't do all the good stuff because he was now targeted on this future massive DC universe that never did happen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think it's also a film that I would happily go and see again.
Yeah,
because like
I think
Man of Steel is quite long and quite a watch, whereas it's bright, colourful, and big monsters. I went, I'm here for this.
Yeah, Man of Steel. Having watched it back, it was long. It was a mid toilet break kind of stop. Kind of it's good. I still like it, but it's long and it just kind of drags a little bit because it is basically just first hour, 2 hours is just the origin story, and then the last bit is the actual action, which is exactly what my son kind of pointed. It's like you don't get to the end and then you finally get the action. I actually prefer Batman vs Superman. I need to watch that again. I quite enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed Ben Affleck's Batman. I thought he was great, and again he got a disservice in it all because I think his solo film would have been great.
No, for sure. And I think with Batman vs Superman, you've got action happening throughout it. So you've got the Batman vs Superman fight, and then you got Doomsday at the end of it.
All the stuff kind of sort of working around the periphery. I remember it being a good one, and the Justice League Snyder cut was good.
Yes,
it
was 7 days long.
There's don't get me wrong. Is that the Suicide Squad? I lost track. There might be like a middle ground extended cut of Justice League, which kind of is still the other dude. Can't remember the director. We don't talk about anymore.
Joss Whedon.
his version, but with extended bits, which is actually not too bad as well. I can't remember, but yeah, I need to go back and watch all of them, really.
No, for sure. Shall we give it a thumbs up rating out of a number?
10?
Out of 10?
Yeah, okay.
Hang on, let me find my fingers. I think I found the right amount of fingers.
3.
After 3.
Okay,
2.
3, 1.
2, 1.
My hands are too big.
8.
Oh, 8 as well.
Yeah, we agreed.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's not too bad at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's nowhere near perfect. It is a glorious mess, and I think that's the nice thing about it. I'm going, yeah, I can switch my brain off. I can watch it, or I can sit there and actually like pick up each little callback and cameo and reference and all this stuff.
Speaking of cameos,
yeah.
Did you spot them all? Because there was loads, and I didn't get them all.
Yeah,
I've got
even like the news reporters and stuff. They're all bloody cameos, isn't they?
So I've got this is all 7 according to Screen Rant. So number 7, which I didn't spot, was Jarell and Lara. Jarell was Bradley Cooper. Didn't spot that.
Yep.
And Lara was played Angela Sarafian. I don't know who she is. Apparently she's somebody. Peacemaker, obviously we talked about him.
Yeah.
Rick Flag Senior, we talked about him.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve's son was the news reporter. That was a nice nod.
Yes.
He looks just like his dad, doesn't he? He's crazy.
Yeah, and he's huge.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, there he's a Superman.
Yeah. Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, he's
a voice for one of the the Raptors, isn't he?
Raptor guys, aren't you? Yeah. That would have never seen that. Maxwell Lord was obviously James Gunn's brother, who always pops up anyway. Yeah. Supergirl, and that's it. Supergirl was number 1. So I did like Christopher Reeve's son was in it. I thought that was nice nod.
Yeah. Admittedly, people like having characters like Cat Grant and stuff in there, and what's his name? Is it Thingy Lombard, the sports guy?
From sports guy. Yeah, he was. Yeah. A nice little.
Yeah, it was great having them all there. And I'm going, if you know who they are, fantastic. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
I was today reading a Twitter conversation where someone had posted Cat Grant and gone, I've no idea who she is, but she should have had more time in the film. And then loads were going, don't you know who she is? And loads of people chastising this person going, it's Cat Grant. Everyone knows who Cat Grant is. And it's like, because again, I love the whole newspaper bit of it. So when all of them were there, it's like, oh yeah, they're all there. Because obviously Jimmy Olsen was there, but he was never not going to be there. But the rest of them were all there, and it was really nice to have the whole crew. Yeah.
I found one of the really funny things is the fact that Lex always refers to Eve Tessmacher as never as Miss Tessmacher or whatever it is. It just always Eve. And you go, yeah, but who calls their girlfriend Miss whatever? And you go, yeah, I know it's a callback, but come on, guys.
Because I think that's where they got Miss Tessmacher from TNA Wrestling. That's where they got her name from. I'm sure I'm right in thinking that they when they gave her the character name, they picked it from Superman.
Yeah, because normally it's always just Miss, and then in this one it's just Eve, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. Because let's face it, who refers to their girlfriend as Miss whatever?
There was all the little sort of cameos and callbacks, and there's like the little sign to Gotham City on the road when they were trying to get out. Little nice little nod there, and you kind of look,
and even like Bellevue and stuff like that, the whole like DC prison, and you go, this is everything. If you look deep enough, everything you tick 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 tick, lovely.
Yeah, good stuff.
Cool.
So the next film, I guess, is Fantastic Four, which I'm a little bit worried about. If I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, it's a Marvel movie post Endgame, therefore it's fine to worry about it.
It looks good, but you hear some of the stuff they're talking about, and you just think they're changing the dynamic of the team. That's not going to go down well. It might be all right. It's Galactus. I like Galactus, and it's proper Galactus, not cloud in the sky Galactus. but it's obviously female Silver Surfer hasn't been a good start, and then all the other stuff, and you think, yeah, well, I'll go and see it. I'll go and see it. But
again, like in the same picture that had the Man of Steel versus 2025 Superman, beneath it was a Fan 4 stick poster, which is all very, again, dark and broody, versus like the modern Fantastic Four. And I think the caption was literally, "What happened to superhero movies in 2012?" Because it's all dark and just not fun. Whereas at least this looks fun.
Yeah, at least it looks comic. Not say comic accurate, but it looks more comic-y. Yeah, because
it's probably going to be absolutely terrible, but
that Fantastic Four one that came out that was just an absolute mess and completely bombed. But the original one, when you had old Chris Evans and all those people in it, that was still, it's still up there. It's still watchable, but it's hokey. So this one, and obviously this is now leading into
Marvel Phase 6.
Doomsday, isn't it?
Yes.
Which they're filming at the moment. So
and the amount of people are still saying that Robbie Downey Jr. isn't Doctor Doom.
There's it's still floating about. Is he really going to be Doom? Is he not going to be Doom? Is there going to be a twist? There's also lots of rumours saying that they haven't even worked out what's going to happen at the end of the film. They started filming it. They haven't finished the script. So
that wouldn't surprise me.
No, because they still don't know what they're doing, and it's still a mess.
Yeah.
But we see.
But yes, cool. So, shall we reconvene in a couple of weeks for Fantastic Four 2025?
Yeah, sounds all right.
Yeah, and let's see if it can beat our 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark now for future films.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. Well, I guess on that note, it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, goodbye from me. Cheerio.
Bye.